Get your calendars out. It's time to figure out when we're going to be able to see all these new flicks. We have some news on that long-awaited Resident Evil 4 remake. And Housemarque's PS5 exclusive Returnal is one of my most anticipated games of the spring. All that and the latest and everything cool today in The Rundown. Welcome to The Rundown, everybody. This one is dedicated to Jean-Luc Besson, who thanked me for the heads up on that new quest in Immortals Fenyx Rising. You got it, buddy. Now, James Bond can't find no time to launch his movie. And what is a sign of things to come for Hollywood? And with a new clear-eyed look at the damage caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, several movies have been delayed. Now, I knew that this was going to be a distinct possibility when I put together my 21 movies for 2021 feature, but I was hopeful that we'd get some really great entertainment on the big screen. James Bond was supposed to come out in April, but now has been moved to October 8th. Ghostbusters Afterlife is moving from June 11th to November 11th. Morbius is moving all the way into next year, January 21st, 2022, which is almost exactly a year from now. Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho is moving from April to October 22nd. The Uncharted movie is also moving into 2022. It's going to land on my birthday, February 11th, 2022. Got a long wait for that one. And we are still waiting on news of delays for Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Free Guy, Top Gun Maverick, and a whole bunch of other big titles out there. I think what's happening is that we're seeing the realities of getting these vaccines rolled out to everybody, getting everybody immunized, and helping people to feel safe in public areas like movie theaters. We've got a lot of work to do to get this pandemic behind us. I mean, the death rates in the United States are unbelievable right now. Clearly, this is a smart choice and a prudent choice from all of these major movie studios to move their release dates around. It's a drag that we're going to have to wait so long. I was really looking forward to seeing these movies on some kind of big screen in 2021, and I think that we still will get some stuff towards the back half of the year, but it's looking more and more like HBO Max's deal to launch movies on their service at the same time they will have movies in some theaters is making a lot more sense. It feels like there's going to be a lot of attention put onto the features that HBO Max has got in the pipeline. Some really, really big movies like Mortal Kombat and Godzilla vs. Kong and Dune. There are some big titles headed our way from Warner Brothers through HBO Max. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this the right move for the movie studios to do? I mean, it feels like it's the only move. It's like the only choice. Are you bummed out, or do you understand that these tough decisions have to be made? And do you have high hopes for that Uncharted movie? I'm very curious to hear what you think about that Uncharted flick. Okay, it was a pretty damn good showcase yesterday, but not everything is rosy in the world of Resident Evil. There's a report out there right now by Video Games Chronicle citing anonymous sources that the Resident Evil 4 remake that we all know is coming but hasn't been officially announced yet is having to get a soft reboot or a partial reboot. There are internal disagreements, and people at Capcom want there to be a few more creative risks being taken, which is all part of the report on this story here. And so M2 is trying to adhere too much to the fundamentals and what we already know of Resident Evil 4, which is a seminal title in the Resident Evil franchise, but in video games in general. And it feels like they don't want to take a misstep and mess up something that a lot of people perceive as almost video game perfection, but Capcom wants there to be a few more, new elements added into this experience. Internally, they want more elements added into this experience, because that's exactly what Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes have been able to do. So what's happened, according to this report, is that development has been brought internally to Capcom. They have an internal development studio called Division 1, which is now going to oversee this remake, because clearly it's an incredibly important property to Capcom, and presumably to many of you out there, it is to me as well. I want it to be the best of the remakes. It feels weird even to think of why you would need a Resident Evil 4 remake. It's so contemporary and wonderful even now. Even if you play the GameCube version or the PlayStation 2, I mean, you're going to deal with some clunkiness in the controls and stuff, but the game was just solid and wonderful and spooky and so well crafted And I think that's the pressure here. This is the undertaking that Capcom is fully aware of, and any developers that work on this title are going to be fully aware of. They're playing with fire. It has to be great. It has to be Capcom's best remake, period. It's likely going to mean that there is a delay on us getting this remake, which, you know, the more distance from the original release and then remastered HD releases, the better the chances are that this is going to be a remarkable remake for all of us. But yeah, this is going to be fun to dip back into this world for sure. And certainly Resident Evil 8 Village looks like it's taken a bunch of cues from Resident Evil 4. There is this kind of similarity in tone and vibe. Can't wait to play that. Resident Evil 8 Village does come out a lot sooner than the Resident Evil 4 remake. That comes out on May 7th. But you know what, though? It's not the only game that I'm super stoked for that's coming out this spring. Check out this new trailer that's dropped on Returnal, being developed by the Finnish game developers at Housemarque, who have done some fantastic arcadey experiences for us in the past. This clearly is the most ambitious game that the studio is working on. It's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and it's going to take advantage of technology that is in the PlayStation 5, including that super fast SSD, so you're going to be able to load right back up into your experience because it's a roguelite. What that means is that you're going to try to get as far as you can on your runs, very much like Bloodborne and Demon Souls. So there's going to be a lot of dying and then killing aliens and then dying, a little bit like Edge of Tomorrow, which borrowed liberally from the video game universe. And to me, it looks like an amazing fusion of some of the mystery and the exploration and the weaponry and the sort of augmentations that you would get in a Metroid experience, fused with one of the Souls-type games out there, and made by a developer that really understands that sort of twitchy sensibility, that arcadey compulsion. They've done such a great job with games like Resogun and Nex Machina, which they worked on with Eugene Jarvis, which was really cool. So yeah, it's kind of like a dark horse, this game. I don't know if it's getting all of the attention and all the limelight, but I can tell you I am so freaking excited, and my fingers are already twitching to play Returnal. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with a brand new rundown for you on Monday, so come back for that. And make sure you stick around for our Vic's Basement podcast and to watch all of the side-scrolling superheroes and all the other content that we make on this channel. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you for subscribing and becoming an EPN member. We will see you soon, and until then, play forever.